Alright, this video is gonna be about my faith. Not a testimony so much. I apologize ahead of time that it's windy outside, the tree next door, and my garage is making sounds. So it could get a little noisy at times. Apologize for that. I try to do it in here because it's more secluded. I don't get as many distractions. Of course, I get noises, but I don't get as many distractions. Okay, with that said, I am a strong believer, okay? And I have been trained to be the way that I am by the steps of faith that I've taken to get where I'm at, okay? It says here in Proverbs 28:1, the wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. You think about the lion, it's pretty bold. I could show you videos and things and whatnot about how bold they really are. And Jesus is supposed to be the Lion of the tribe of Judah. I mean, that's just, referencing a lion. So if he's called the Lion of the tribe of Judah, and we're bold as a lion, there's a reason that he says that about the boldness. I mean, I can probably find more, but alright. In today's time, most people don't want to hear about rebuke. Oh, it's not a topic of most discussions. I mean, if it is, it's about like, you can't talk to him like that. You can't. Why you talk to me like that? It's you're judging me. It's you can't judge me. Only God can judge me. Well, Jesus said also, judge not unless ye be judged. And basically, the same measure that you judge with, you're going to be judged with. But he also said, too, in his word, to judge with righteous judgment. Don't judge by the outward appearances, what we see, but the inward. So I don't judge a person by what I see on the outward, like what they're wearing and things of that nature. I mean, I'm judging by the author of the person. Who's writing that person's book? Is it the enemy, or is it God? Who's writing that book? That's how I judge them. Their spiritual walk. And I can have my own thoughts, you know what I mean, as far as, how I feel about the person. Same as anybody else that's watching this, you're allowed to have your own, I guess, opinion, but it's acting on it, Our fleshly body is going to have us, having different reactions to certain things that, could have us say something we shouldn't, do something we shouldn't, lean more on faith than the spirit, you're less likely to falter, to make that mistake. But about the rebuke's there for a reason. He says it. Here, I'll give you a few, just so you know for yourself as you watch this, and you'll hear it and write it down if you have to, so you can go read it for yourself. All right, the first one I see here is Proverbs 27, 5 through 7. Open rebuke is better than secret love. So right there, open rebuke is better than secret love. rebuke. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. So, your friend can wound you with the rebuke, but, it's in love. And here's verse 7. That was verse 6. But verse 7, the full soul loatheth a honeycomb. But to the hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. You got a hungry soul, you receive rebuke, it's going to be bitter to you. Well, it's going to taste sweet. It's going to be sweet. Because if you're truly walking by faith, you're leaning on the Spirit, it's going to do something. If you're listening and taking heed to what you're hearing, I got to say, rebuke has got to be out of love, not out of anger. There's a difference between correction and abuse. Correction is out of love, abuse is out of anger. So you can't come at them with an abusive type of mentality. It's got to be correction and the love that the Spirit would have you do it as. All right, here's 2 Timothy 4:2. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. There's the word rebuke again. Okay, Titus chapter 2, verse 15. These things speak and exhort and rebuke with all authority. Let no man despise thee. So he's saying rebuke with all authority, referencing to what it's talking about in that chapter. And most people don't want to hear about the rebuke. Can't say I'm a big fan of it. I said in a previous video I didn't like the chastisement coming from my spiritual brother / spiritual authority. So yeah, I get it. But you're not supposed to shun it away like it don't exist, like it don't have no part. You can't believe this part of the word and not believe this over here. That's not the way the Bible works. It's all or nothing. Don't pick and choose what part you are more apt to care about. That's not the way it works. It's all or nothing. It all applies, every bit of it. Get over it. First Timothy 5, verse 20. Them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear. What? Yeah, exactly. It said rebuke before all. That others also may fear. You mean to tell me he wants me to rebuke? Yeah, he does. When it's necessary and it's in love and it's to correct the spirit of the person, yeah. There's a reason. I have no idea why. It's in there. You can't argue and debate it. You can't. You can justify it whatever way you want, but it's in the Word. There's a reason for it. And so many people just rather have their ears tickled. Go to people like Joel Osteen. I'm going to bring him up again because I cannot. No, I just can't believe that his church is filled with so many people. Listen to that watered down garbage that coming out of that man's mouth. It's pathetic. He's got all these people tithing to his ministry. It ain't even a ministry, it's a joke. I say that with truth. If you're listening to Joel Osteen, you're in trouble. You're listening to that watered down garbage that ain't truth. Oh, God's love. Yes, he is love. He's also the same God that flooded the world, destroyed cities, sent his followers, his servants, to go annihilate whole cities. He said, go in there and kill everything. Women, children, babies, the livestock, everything. Slaughter everything. That's the same God that I serve. Granted, yeah. When Jesus came, a whole lot changed. He no longer wanted to send guys out to go do that. But it's the mindset of what I'm trying to get you to, is that you got to understand, man, that there's a purpose for everything under the sun. Rebuke has its place. Most people don't want to hear that. Most people run from it. You know, I can't say I'm a big fan of hearing it. But if you're going to come at me with some rebuke, let me tell you something. You better make sure your hands is clean. You better make sure they're not filthy and they ain't covered in blood. You're going to come and rebuke me? Better step up or step off. That's that boldness. Now, I'm not always right. I make mistakes. I'm human. There's a reason I am the way I am. I have a loving spirit. Believe it or not, outside of this video, anybody that knows me, I do have love in the spirit. I do show compassion, empathy. I do believe that there's a purpose for everything. You know, I could meet somebody that I know that's living a life of sin, and, you know, for the first time, just, you know, living a life of sin and not walking right, but wanting to do right. And I'd bring the word softly, lovingly, caringly to them. But when it comes to a believer that's trying to serve God on Sunday but serve himself the other 6 days of the week, you better expect the unexpected. I meet people like this all the time. Oh yeah, I'm a God believer. Yeah, I go to church on Sundays. Yeah. And then serving yourself the other 6 days and your flesh and all this other things. It's pathetic. Now, I do sin. I do make mistakes. Yes. But I don't live in it. I don't do it like so many people I've seen. That doesn't mean I'm right and they're wrong. No, I mean, only God knows. But he also says, be sure your sin will find you out. Your sin will find you out. You try hiding what you're doing, it will come out. I can tell you firsthand, I've experienced it. I've said something in my previous videos that God made sure that I got to realize that my sin will find me out. So I want to encourage you that if you're a believer, that you're going to do the best you can at being the best you. If you're not reading the Word and getting fed spiritually by reading His Word, you're going to be led astray. You can't expect to just get fed on Sundays when you attend church, or when you pass by somebody in the streets or in a car or whatever, and somebody says, I love Jesus. Do you? I think about that, you know, it's the world we are living in now. It's pitiful. so many believers are not true believers. It sickens me. You know how many churches I've walked in that's truly walking by faith that ain't doing something that's causing them to be walking disorderly. I know man is flawed. Okay, we're born in sin. We have flesh. We do make mistakes. But you know how many churches I've walked in that's truly walking by the word of God to the best of their ability? Zero. I'm sure there's some out there, but I have yet to do it. I have the faith of Pentecostal. That's what I believe in. I believe in the spiritual gifts, as it talks about in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and 13. It talks about the spiritual gifts. From what I've read, it's about 9 gifts. And I can tell you, most of the churches that you see or hear about or even go to, they don't even have most of them. Now, going a little deeper into, I'll leave that for another video. That's probably be a whole video just in itself. My faith has led me to be bold, okay? I do know what God says. Pride and arrogancy doth I hate. Pride and arrogancy doth I hate. So he hates it. So I'm not prideful and arrogant. I'm bold. There's a difference. He has given me a message to go deliver to churches. Imagine being given a message to go deliver it to a church. How do you think that's going to be received? Imagine that quite well if it's not a good message. I could give you scriptures about what it talks about. You know, is not about what I went in there for, but where is he coming when he comes back and he returns, Jesus? Where's the first place he's going to come? The churches. So there's a reason for it. I remember one day, I'm going to pause this for a second and get a drink. I remember one day, this is going to be a brief testimony. I was asking God, it's something I felt moved to go out and walk and do something spiritual. And I said, where do you want me to go, Lord, Father? Guide me where you want me to go. I got, go to Doctor's West, go to the 6th floor. Of course, I didn't really know much about Doctor's West. I didn't even know if there was a 6th floor. I'm like, okay. I'm asking along the way, confirmation just to be sure. I go, I get in confirmation as I'm going, making sure, you know, I'm getting multiple confirmations. I get to the hospital. I'm walking towards the main entrance, and I see a door on the side, like for an employee entrance only. You know, it's on the complete side, you know, not near one of the main entrances. You're not even supposed to be able to go through this door. I said, go through that door. That's what the Spirit said, go through that door. I'm like, how am I going to get through there? It's got a key card, it's got a pad and all that. I can't get through there. Go through the door. I'm like, okay. I walk over and I pull it, it opens. I'm like, what? Okay. Well, I walk through the door. Of course, when I walk through, and I'm looking around at first, you know, there's people walking by, ain't paying me no mind. I just keep walking straight after I come to an intersection of one hallways. I keep walking straight, and right there's the elevators. Right, I mean, it's probably 30 feet, 40 feet from the door I just walked in. Set of elevators right there. And I'm like, okay. So I walk over. I get on the elevator. The top floor is the 6th floor. I'm like, okay. Press it. Boom. Like, hey, you got something going on here, Lord. I don't know what it is, but I'm intrigued now. So doors open up. I get off, and all I see is this hallway. There's a wall right in front of me. There's just a hallway. Going to the right is like probably about 3 doors and then a dead end. I walk that way at first. I'm looking at the doors. It's not marked or saying anything. It just got numbers. It's not even a patient's room or anything. It's like an office of some sort. I look the other way of the elevator. I'm like, I see it goes this way and then cuts to the other direction. I'm like, oh, you had me come here for some reason. I don't know. So I walked down that way, went around the corner. Now I'm seeing 2 more corners. I'm seeing one that goes to the right and one that goes this way to the left in front of that one. I'm like, okay. I go walking up, and I walk to the first one to the right, and I'm looking down this hallway. And I see like nurses, randomly walking. I mean, it's a long hallway. And I'm seeing a nurse walk across and another nurse go in the opposite direction. I'm like, I don't feel moved to go that way. Maybe I'm supposed to go in there and pray for somebody in one of the rooms or something. Maybe I'm supposed to pray for a nurse. I don't know. So I look around the other corner. It's about 5 feet past that hallway, and look to the left of that one. It's nothing but 2 more elevators. I'm assuming they was going down or whatever. I'm not sure. It didn't bother with that. Didn't feel moved to mess with them. One of the doors next to that elevator was a key access. I didn't feel moved to mess with that. I just wasn't getting anything. And I turn around, and right there where that corner was, I looked to the right where I seen them nurses, and came around it. Just before I came over there, I see a door there, and there's a chair outside of the door, and right there at that doorway going into it, there's a sign right next to the door. It says pastoral care. What does that mean? Am I supposed to go in there and pray for somebody? I'm like, something's to this. I was like, well, I'll just take a seat. So I took a seat there. I sat there for 20, 30 minutes. And I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, what do you want me to do? I don't understand what you got me here for. I mean, I just told me to come here. Out of all that, I even put my hand on the wall and was praying, Lord, if you want me to go in there, I'm praying, like, it's just the way I felt by faith to do it. Lord, you want me to go in there? Have them come out. Let me know that. Let that be the confirmation I needed to know that that's what I needed. And I'd pray for them. That'd be what. Okay, well, hey, you come here. You believe in Jesus, whatever. But didn't come to that. It was about that sign at that outside the door. Pastoral care. That's what my faith led me to believe. There was something to go in there. It was just a step of faith, if you ask me. Was I willing to go there? I walked to that hospital from where I lived at. It was probably 3 or 4 miles. It was not close, let me tell you. But I ended up getting that, and then after that, ended up getting these messages to go deliver to churches. Certain churches, not all churches that ever crossed that, and it was certain church. Just, boom, go deliver this message. It was never a good message in the sense of on the receiving end. There was a point to those messages, and it was meant to do something, but one was relatively received a little better than the other one. The other one basically shut me down. Didn't want nothing to do with anything I had to say. It was like, if you're coming in here and you're wanting to bring that teaching to inside here, then you're not going to be welcome here. Then you know, you're going to have to go, kind of thing. I'm like, well, my thought pattern is, what Bible do you read? Oh, well, I read the King James Version. You're reading the same version I do, at least. Do you believe everything in the Word? Yeah. So why are you not understanding what this Word is telling me to tell you, and that it don't apply to you? That don't make no sense to me. Well, because some people get that pastoral degree because they go to man to get it. They didn't go to God, they went to man. And man gives it to them, so they think they're above man. Because man gave them a degree. Look at this piece of paper. I got this degree that says I can preach. Can you? Are you walking by faith or are you walking by sight? Man up. That's what I want to say to most people. Step up or step off. Either get right or you're going to get left. That's the boldness. So that, here's the scripture. So that I may boldly say, the Lord is my helper. I shall not fear what man shall do unto me. I don't fear. You gonna point a gun at me and kill me because of my preaching? Thank you. Go ahead. I don't fear, man. I don't fear death. I welcome it. I'm not saying if somebody's out there shooting a gun, I'm gonna jump out in front of the bullets. Hey, you're missing me. You know, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that much of an idiot. I'm some dumb, but I ain't plumb dumb. But if it's a step of faith that's gonna, bring me to that spot, then I welcome it. Now, if I was to step in front of a bullet to save somebody behind me, yeah, I would do it. That's the love I have. I'm a very, like I say, empathetic person. Well, that's just a little of what my faith is. You know, it scares a lot of people, concerns a lot of people. I think I come off too strong or too harshly. And I can appear that way at times, but they don't understand. Most people do not understand. It's out of love. It's not out of authority, like I have authority over you. It's not it. If you take it that way, then I'm sorry you take it that way. That's not the way it is. I love you enough to help point you in the right direction. Give you the type of leadership that one needs. You know, most people don't want to hear about that. They really don't when it comes to rebuke. All right, I'll leave on that. It's almost 30 minutes into this video, so hopefully this turned out all right and that you all are still watching. I want to say Godspeed and blessings. May the peace of God be upon you.